Okay, so before I get going teaching you the song and going through each phrase of the tablature, I really wanted to show you what these different repeat symbols mean, because they can be pretty confusing, and as you heard in the sample, a lot of this tune repeats itself. So first of all, we've got the most basic repeat sign. This here at the beginning of measure 2 and at the end of measure 9. That's just your basic repeat sign. So you start at measure 1, you play all the way through to measure 9, and right there, this repeat sign means go all the way back to measure 2 because it has this forward-facing repeat sign. Okay, so we got that. Now, this is what I mean by one of these symbols I'm going to go over. So let's ignore that for right now. But, okay, so play measures 1 through 9. At the end of measure 9, you repeat back to measure 2. You're going to play all the way through, this time going through measure 9. Okay, keep going. Now this is another thing I'm going to teach you in just a second, but let's ignore that for right now. We keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. Okay, then at the end of measure 17, we have this. This is what we're looking for, DS al coda. That basically means go to the sign or go to the symbol, and then we're going to go to the coda, which here's our coda, what that means. But let me explain first of all the first part of this, go to the sign. Well, what's the sign? The sign or the symbol is this thing here. It looks like a little S or something. That's what DS, it means go to this. So we're going to, right here at the end of measure 17, instead of going on to measure 18, we go to the sign. So we jump all the way back to measure 2. Okay, and then we're going to play just what we just played. Play from measure 2 to measure 9. This repeat sign means to repeat back to measure 2. We're going to play all the way back through measure 9, and we're going to keep going this time. Okay, play measures 10 and 11, and then notice this, da coda. Okay, so this time we jump from at the end of measure 11, we jump to that coda symbol. Remember, that coda symbol is right here at measure 18. So we skip over the second time through the tune, basically. We skip over measures 12 through 17, and we jump all the way to the coda, and then we play all the way through the end of the song. Okay, and that's what those repeat symbols mean. This is called the coda. This is DS al coda. I won't even try to pronounce that, but you can look it up. It's Italian, I believe, but I just think go to the sign and then go to the coda. That's what this means. But you'll see that in music quite a bit. Okay,
And this here means the second time through, because this is at the end of this measure. You're going to play this measure, and the second time through, basically after you go here, go to the, hit this, means go to the sign and then go to the coda. This tells you, okay, we've just played all that. Now let's go to the coda. And you jump from there all the way to measure 18 at the coda. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. Now notice here, since I'm kind of going over this tablature anyways, the song is in 3/4 time. Okay, you can see that at the very beginning, 3/4 time. And right here, I have a measure of 4/4. And that's just, you could think of that in 4/4, or you can use this, what's called the fermata. And basically that means to just hold that, hit that chord and hold it as long as you want, and then move on back into time. Or if you don't want to play the fermata, you can play this exactly in 4/4 time, where this measure, just this measure alone, is going to get 4 beats. But then it goes in measure 20, it goes back to 3/4 time, where each measure gets 3 beats. So some interesting things in the tablature with this one to kind of look out for, and I really wanted to dial it in and show you. So I hope that made sense to you. All those different symbols can be kind of confusing. Well, let's go ahead and jump on into the tune, The First Noel. Okay, so this first part of the tune will start right on beat 3 of measure 1, keeping in mind we're in open G tuning, GBD tuning, and we're in 3/4 time, so 3 beats per measure. So it starts right on beat 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's just stop there. I'll just kind of take this line by line of your tablature. Okay, so we start off with a nice roll on strings 6, 3, and 2. And then your bar is tilted up to play 2nd fret, 3rd string. That's all measure 1. That kicks us off into the tune. And then in measure 2, we grab the 6th string and 3rd string, thumb and middle finger. Now this measure shows you what I had in mind with this arrangement. Instead of playing more in the, this position down here, your open position, let's say, your 1st fret through your 3rd fret, I put notes in there that gave it more of a cascading effect, or where they could ring out, and that would make it be a little bit more smoother as you'd play it. Like that part. Okay, so on measure 2, you're grabbing your 6th string and your 3rd string. Play open 4th string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, open 2nd string, and then move all the way up to your 5th fret, 3rd string. And that's what I mean with that kind of cascading effect, or it allows strings to ring out that you previously played, and it smooths it out a little bit. Okay, and then measure 3, we're grabbing our 5th, 4th, and 3rd string, sliding from 5 to 7. Keeping in mind, at times I'm putting vibrato over these chords, and the way I do my vibrato is I have a space in between my ring finger and my middle finger. I always keep that space there, and that allows me to have the ability to go back and forth with my vibrato. Okay, so after you slide from 5 to 7, then you play your 7th fret, 5th string, and 4th string, thumb and index finger. Okay, and then you're going to grab strings 4, 3, and 2, 5th fret, and then slide from 5 to 7 there. So that's measures 1 through 3. Once again, 1, 2. Keeping in mind, I'm not muting out that 2nd string. I'm letting it ring out as I play my 5th fret, 3rd string there at the beginning. Okay, adds a little bit of dissonance to it, but it keeps things real smooth to where you don't get that cutoff sound of the notes or the chords that you're hitting, and it makes it more of a classical effect, I feel like. And then just smooth slide each one of these chords I'm kind of doing that too, you know, instead of just playing, you know, like that, just to smooth it out. I've learned this through my Hawaiian lessons, where instead of just playing, you know, each note staccato, kind of slide into the notes and keep them connected. Connect your notes. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next phrase.